All right. Shalom, one and all. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus, our Messiah. It is a cloudy, what day is today? Wednesday? A cloudy Wednesday. And yeah, we have some volatility going on right now with the Bitcoin price. We have some real volatility going on with the Bitcoin price. And to be honest with you guys, I was expecting downward movement. Yesterday, I was in a scalp long saying, even though I'm in this scalp long, I'm still extremely bearish on this market. In fact, I was in this position right here where I was riding this thing up, and then yeah, we just dipped down. And so today I'm going to go through, I'm going to tell you my targets, what I'm looking for, my current trade. I'm actually currently in a short position right now, shorting this dip down here. Zoom. And we are currently getting a bounce off of this support right here, this 55.895 support. We are getting a very clear bounce off of here. So could this be the bottom? It could be the bottom. However, I am still hoping for and expecting more downward movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out the levels I am trading, and then I am actually going to tell you guys what I'm hoping for as far as the price action goes. Now, currently, I did short from this level here. When we broke this level, I shorted down to this level here. In fact, I think, where did I enter? I entered a little bit. Yeah, I shorted, because I go from daily level to daily level. So in the Discord here, this is the trade that I posted when we were shorting. I woke up, I saw on my phone we're dipping below the daily level, and then we hit 3 take profits, and right now we're getting this bounce. So I'm kind of like sitting on the sidelines, and I'm already in profit. So if this trade, if we get a bounce here and we continue higher, then awesome. I'll be looking for a long entry. I have a hunch, though, because of the bearish divergences that are forming on the higher time frames, that we might actually come back down, and I'm really hoping we can get down to like the 40K level. Because if we get to that 54K level, because if we get to that level, there's a lot of confluence on that level. Let me pull up my other chart here, and let me remove this for now. And I'm going to show you guys what I am looking for and how I'm looking to trade this, really. But before I do that, let me get into the chat and just make sure everything is good with the stream. Peace, peace, everybody. Peace, peace. In the name of Jesus, our Messiah, I pray that all of you are blessed. And shout out to Rye Andy, who was watching my tutorial yesterday. I'm doing good, man. Yeah, sorry, Twan, not 40K. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to 48K. Okay, that is a possibility. It might not happen, though. We just do what Market Cipher says and trade level to level. Mike Brown, how do we take profit on Bybit when we are in a trade without closing the position? That's a great question, Mike Brown. The way you do that is you simply just set, if you're long, you just sell a portion of your contracts. If you have 1,000 contracts in the trade, you want to take 50% profit out. If you're long, you would sell 500 contracts. If you're short, you would buy 500 contracts. Hey, Jason, what made you check the 8-hour blood diamond yesterday? Somebody in the Discord, in my Discord, pointed out the red blood diamond on the 8-hour. And that's what's great about being in the Discord, guys. Everybody learns from each other. Everybody shares their TA. I got in a nice scalp trade yesterday because somebody's sharing their TA. And somebody shared that, hey, we got this blood diamond on the 8-hour. I forget if it was in my Discord or the Market Cipher Discord. But last time we got a blood diamond on the 8-hour, we eventually ended up coming down and testing, this trend line right here, 14% dip. And now we're getting a blood diamond on the 8-hour as well. And so it would not be any surprise to me if we come down and test this trend line again. And the reason I'm hoping for 54K is because there's so much confluence at the 54K level. And if we do get a nice bounce on the 54K level, this is the swing long that I'm looking to enter right here. If we get a bounce at the 54K level. Of course, that might not happen, right? This might be the bounce right here. This might be the bounce. However, it seems that we still have more downward momentum to go. on some of these higher time frames, and I am expecting us for sure to cool off a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm expecting us to come up, and but I would like to see more downward movement. So if we do come down in a perfect world to the 54K level, then I would be looking to enter a position, a long position, right here when we're getting the bounce, and it's confirmed on Market Cipher on the lower time frames. I would put my stop loss all the way down here just to give us a lot of volatility, a lot of room to play around there. And I would look to stay in this swing long to a new all-time high, because really my sentiment of this market is, once we get the drop, I'm hoping we get a drop that makes everybody freak out and panic sell, and all the whales can fill their buy orders down in these regions, okay? And then price is just going to come up from there. That's what I'm hoping for. That's one of the scenarios I am planning for. Let's put it that way. Okay? So, why at 54K? Well, if we come to the 4-hour time frame, and here, let me get a clean chart for us. Let me get us a clean chart. Okay. Sorry about the dirty chart, guys. But if we go to the daily time frame, you can see that we have right here on this level a support right at $54,000, and I will make this orange so that we can focus on it more. Now we have all these other daily levels. Currently we are getting a bounce off of this daily level right here at 55.8. 55.8 is a daily level. Between 55.6 and 55.8, we're getting a clear bounce off of that. So this might be our dip, guys. This really might be our dip. And definitely, if you are looking for a nice position, you could have entered the bounce right here, because when we came down to that level on Market Cipher on the lower time frames, as you can see, the 20-minute time frame, you know, we're printing a bottom for sure. We're printing a bottom here. So this is definitely a good entry. So if you are long, you know, don't freak out because I'm short. This is a good entry to enter because you have your very clear trade parameters where you can enter right here on the bounce. You set your stop loss, a nice tight responsible stop loss below the last swing low, and you can just take it level to level, right? But remember, scalping is different. I'm in a position more where I'm expecting some volatility, and I'm expecting us to keep coming down. I've already taken some profits out, so regardless, this is a winning trade for me. And if we do come up, you know, and reject off one of these levels, or even a lower level than that, I'd be looking to add to my position when I see the downward momentum in Market Cipher. But that $54,000 level, right down here, there is just so much confluence there. Number one, it is a daily support, and as you guys know, I love trading daily support and resistance levels because when we mark these levels down, price is going to react there, and we can just use Market Cipher to show us which way the price is going to react. Now, secondly, this is the bottom of a trend line right here, right? The $54,000 level would put us right at the bottom of this channel that we have been trading in for a long time. So there's a lot of confluence there. There's a lot of confluence there. And another reason is because that, hang on, let me get the right tool. That 54K level, if we go from the last swing low where we touched this trend line and pull it to that swing high, you can see that that $54,000 level is the 618 as well. So there's just so much confluence here, and I know this is probably less confluence, but it's also the CME gap from not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, which never did fill. So it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if we just get all this downward momentum down to this level, because we have the blood diamond on the 8-hour, which the last time that happened, we came down to the trend line. Now we have the blood diamond on the 8-hour up here, or was it here? We could come down, test the trend line, come down, bounce off the 618, bounce off a daily level. There's just so much confluence there. So that's really what I'm hoping for. And the reason I'm short right now, and I guess this is more of a swing trade, but in a bull market, I wouldn't call any short a swing trade. I'm always very careful, always making sure to lock in those profits. But over the weekend, I posted a video. It's actually in, if you're a part of the trading course, it's in here where I post my TA and stuff. The April 4th TA video where basically I was saying, you know, for this week, the two trades that I would most likely be looking to enter is, if we reject off these highs, I would be looking to short, and if we come down, I would be looking to long off of these lows here, and potentially even lower, right? I am not putting it out of the picture that we might come down and test these crazy levels around 48. But really, my first target would be 54, and then 51, and then 48 after that. And it's simply because, I'm sorry, we would probably put 50,000 before that too. But that's simply because these are the levels of daily support and resistance that I'm trading. And of course, you know, you're never going to catch all of the move. You're never going to catch all of the move. And, you know, we are getting a bounce off of this daily level. So, you know, we very well may see us come up here, you know, do a little of this, then reject down more. I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is that I've been keeping my eye on this $54,000 level, and I have that sentiment about the market. Now, check this out too. Right, on the 8-hour, we do have something like this going on, where you know, the price was coming up, and the momentum on the 8-hour was coming down. Okay, and we saw this dip, and then we came back up and we rejected off of this daily level here, right? So to me, this is showing now that we're just printing lower highs and lower lows, and so it wouldn't surprise me if we just continue on that pattern. And then I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. Like, this is how I trade. Like, I look at the chart and I come up with a plan, and I think to myself, what would I like to see happen? And then when I do see that happen, then it's so easy to trade. So what I would really like to see is, I would like to see us come down lower and potentially even have like a FOMO wick, where we wick down and everyone thinks, oh no, sell everything, we're coming down to zero, and get a nice bounce off of these lows, and then enter a swing long position for the month of April, which I'm expecting to be extremely bullish. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the Bitcoin. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the Bitcoins, guys. Let's go into the chat, see if we have any questions. Guys, FOMO into that Jason Casper like button. We have 948 people in the chat. In the video, only 130 likes. Come on, guys. If you find anything good about this video, give it a like. This is a great question. RY Andy wants to know, what indicates to you that there is downward momentum? Is it the blue waves building in the downward direction? Yeah, let's talk about that. How are we going to find the momentum on Market Cipher? Okay, well, I made a video about this yesterday. In fact, let me point it out to y'all. If you go to my channel here and you go to videos, there's right here Market Cipher. No, where is it? Here we go. No, right here. Here it is, Market Cipher tutorial. Find the perfect entries. And in this video, I'm basically going over, you know, how you can determine which way the momentum is going. And the way I trade is, I wait for price to come to one of these levels that I've marked out, and then I look at Market Cipher to see what is happening. So let's take this as an example. We're getting a bounce right now off of the daily level, 55.8. Okay, the reason this is a daily support level is because we can come to the daily time frame and see on the chart, looking all the way to the left, as far left as possible, there's a lot of candle bodies opening and closing on this chart. It was resistance, it got flipped into support, and then later it was resistance, and then it got flipped into support again. It was support for 3 days in a row, support again, it was resistance again. For 4 days it was resistance. And so now, is there any surprise that we are getting a bounce off of that level? After breaking below this daily support, we come down to this one and get a bounce. I don't think that there's any surprise that we're seeing that. So let's come down to the lower time frames on Market Cipher, because this is the daily time frame and we're printing a red dot on the daily time frame. But in order to really see that momentum, and I'm going to circle right where it is. Okay, let me go to the 4-hour. Yeah, okay, the 4-hour. We're getting a nice little bounce here. You know, that's a good place to enter a long position. And so we will come down to, let's say, the 15-minute time frame, and look at this. As soon as we hit this support, literally as we are hitting this support line to the dollar, The 15-minute is showing us that we're printing a bottom here, right? It's showing us that we're printing a bottom. If we go to the 6-minute time frame, we can see that we have been printing a double bottom right here. If we go down to the 3-minute time frame, we can see that not only did we print a triple bottom right as we were coming down to touch this support, but we have a triple bottom, and then we have a consecutively higher trigger wave, and then we're printing an even higher trigger wave with this very, very clear direction upwards. We can see the money flow is starting to cross up like this. And so this would tell us that we're getting a bounce off of this daily support, and it would let us know if you are looking to, let's say, enter a scalp trade at this level, at this bounce, you could have entered, you know, when you're starting to see confirmation that we are coming up. I mean, you have from 7:30 a.m. to 8:09 a.m. to determine that you have half an hour to look at this and determine that we're getting the bounce and that the momentum is coming upwards, right? And so you could have entered a position here, right here, and a scalp trade, you know, 3x leverage, you could already be up over 3%, and it's that nice. And even if we have more downward momentum to go, which I'm hoping for, right? We're still, you can still scalp this quite easily. And then the opposite is true for when we come up to these, when we're coming down to this support. How do we know we're going to break through it and not get a bounce? How do we know? Well, take a look at Market Cipher on these lower time frames. You can see we're getting consecutively lower trigger waves, anchor, trigger. You see a money flow cross. That money flow cross to me is a powerful sign. And so we're getting this downward momentum. We can go into the 6-minute time frame and look at this on the 6-minute time frame. I mean, you just see this clear direction downward. You see this clear direction downward. You get that money flow cross on the 6-minute. You know, as soon as you get that money flow cross on the 6-minute and you get this red trigger wave, boom, we come down. And so, you know, that's how you're going to determine the momentum. And I recommend people check out the video I made yesterday, because it really will show you this in more detail. But that's why Market Cipher is such a powerful tool, guys. Because when you know, support and resistance are great. I love support and resistance, but you won't know, right? If you didn't have Market Cipher, how are you going to know that this wasn't an actual bounce? You know what I'm saying? You might think that this is the bounce that's going to take you up. Or you might think, not this bounce, this actually was a bounce. I actually traded this. I traded that. I'm talking about like this bounce right here. When we come down and bounce again, how do we know we're not going to come up, and how do we know we're going to come down? It's because of Market Cipher. It's telling us the momentum. And so now we're printing this upward momentum. And, you know, when we're looking at a larger time frame, you know, it changes everything, right? It changes our perspective, because when we're on a larger time frame, we're allowing for more volatility to happen, right? Like, I don't have any problem coming up here and then coming back down more and touching 54K. You know, look at what happened the last time we came down, right? The last time we printed a blood diamond on the here, let me turn on Market Cipher A here. Last time we printed a blood diamond on the 8-hour, you know what happened, right? We came down, we came up, we came down, we came up, and then we came all the way down. So I'm kind of hoping for something like that to happen, and I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, I don't know. But, you know, we do have these divergences that are playing out on the higher time frame. If we go to the 12-hour time frame, you know, again, I don't know actually if I would call this a divergence now on the higher time frames. No, I wouldn't call this a divergence. I would not. But we shall see what happens here, guys. We shall see what happens. And like I said, I've already locked in the profits in my short. So if this trade goes totally north for me, even though I'm hoping for it to go south, then that's okay. I will look for a long entry. So what really am I looking for? Well, right now, in order for me to look for a long entry, at this point, because we're not bouncing off of the area that I wanted, we're bouncing off a higher level, I would like to see price come up and confirm above this moving average, and then getting us upward momentum, and then I would look to enter a long position, probably if we come up and then retest that EMA and then continue upwards. That to me would be where I would enter a long position. So yeah, that's how you're going to determine momentum, guys. And really, the most important thing is marking your levels first, because then you have a reference point. If you have no reference point and you're just on Market Cipher with no reference point, there's tops and bottoms everywhere, guys. There's tops and bottoms everywhere. Look at this. You see this direction here on Market Cipher? How come we don't get some kind of giant move? It's because we didn't come down and we're not bouncing off of a daily level at the same time. We're not bouncing off of a level. When we get a bounce off of a level, like we're actually coming down below it a little bit and then coming back up. That's what I mean by a bounce. Because on the higher time frames, the bounces are going to look like wicks, right? The bounces are going to look like wicks where they come down below and we get a bounce off of that. When you're getting a wick and a bounce with lower momentum, that's what you're going to look for. So, okay, let me turn this off. Let me turn this off. And let me come into the chat again, guys. This is not the chat. Yeah, I made a video yesterday with red and green candles, which is horrible. So I apologize for everybody who had to see that. Guys, FOMO into the like button if you are watching this video. We have over 1,000 people watching, only 300 likes. And Ricardo says, technically, if we printed a higher low on the 12-hour time frame, wouldn't that be bullish? Yes. Yes, that would. Callan, quick, I already answered that question, but basically, if you're long on Bybit, 1,000 contracts, just sell 500 of them. You'll take 50% out of the trade. Yeah, shout out to Litos, who got stuck in a long since 59.3. Been buying the dips, so now his entry is 58. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Why don't I sell ETH at the tops and buy again at the bottoms? I do. I've been adding to my position. I have been adding to my position. I added when we retested some of those supports, but now everything's dumping, right? Do I use Femex? I'm about to. Brent, I currently am short. I've been short since we broke below the daily level. Thank you for everybody who's FOMOing into the like button. Guys, if we can get this video to, let's say 1,300 likes. There's only 1,100 people in here, but if we can get this video up to 1,300 likes, on Friday I will do a giveaway where I give away $200 of Bitcoin and the trading course. And guys, if you want to learn all this stuff, how to mark your levels, how to trade with confidence, how to find those good entries, I have a course. It's $200. You can pay Bitcoin or you can become a Patreon. If you want to pay Bitcoin, you have to join my free Discord and message me in there. And the purpose of this course is to give you confidence trading so that you don't have to worry about what I'm doing, what any YouTuber is doing. You can have your own entries. And you can be confident in that, right? You don't have to get freaked out if you're long and somebody else is short. And basically, the purpose of this is to teach you how to create your own strategy, backtest that strategy, have confidence in that strategy, and then use it. And I even give you 4 example strategies that I use on a regular basis to trade with that are very profitable. So if you're interested in that, hit me up or become a patron. And yeah, Enigma, I did 2 giveaways, bro. I know I've been promising every live stream. I've been giving 2 giveaways. And the last time I promised one, it was if we got a certain number of likes and we didn't get it. Yeah. And that's right. I'm a moon boy, guys. My like button is going to the moon. If we can get that thing up to 1,300, I'm actually convinced that my like button is going up to $2,500 by February 14th. Okay? Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the charts. Let's go back to the charts, guys. Kravex says you don't get confident reading other strategies. Yeah, that's true, but these strategies that I'm showing you are ones that I have back-tested and that you can back-test yourself and see that they work. See that they work. I mean, like, they do work. People are back-testing them right now, using them right now with a lot of profitability. Okay, so real quick, let's go to the monthly on Bitcoin because somebody asked me to do that. And then I'm going to talk again about my levels and what I'm looking for. So this is the monthly for Bybit. Yeah, so we have our first red candle in quite some time. We have our first red candle in quite some time. I think this is the 7th month. We've had 1, 2, 3, yeah, six blue candles in a row. This is our first purple candle. And guys, something to keep in mind though, even though we are printing a purple candle, this is nothing to be concerned about yet because it's only the first week of April, first of all. And second of all, this is clearly a bull trend, right? So it looks scary since it's the first purple candle, but give it some time. If we start coming down real low and we come below this previous, we get an engulfing candle on the monthly, then that's serious. But until then, I would not be too concerned. So here's what I'm looking for, guys. As many of you may know, what I am looking for is I would like to see us come down lower. Right now, we're getting a bounce off of this daily level. It's a nice bounce, and if anybody's long, then awesome. But I would really like to see us come down lower to these lows, maybe to the 54K level. And the reason I would like to see that is because there's so much confluence there that it would allow us to enter a very, very, very nice swing position. Not only is it a daily level, but it's a trend line, and it's also the 618 of this last move from the 50K to our swing high. Look at that, it's the 618 as well. And so right now we're getting a bounce off around the 0.5, I guess you could say. We got a bounce off the 382. We're getting kind of a bounce off the 0.5. It would be really nice to see us, get this bounce, come back down, wick through here and get a bounce up. Just because of all the confluence here, that would make me very confident in entering a swing position there, especially if Market Cipher was giving us the momentum. Okay, so that's one scenario. What's another scenario? The other scenario is that this is the bottom here. That is the other scenario, that this is the bottom. We will see very soon whether or not this is the bottom. I know that this is obviously a bottom. However, it might not be the bottom. When we take a look at what has happened in the past, I want to put on the 8-hour again and put on Market Cipher A. We got this blood diamond here on the 8-hour, and I'm going to circle that, okay? This is important. When we come back to the 4-hour, we can see that, from the time we got that blood diamond, it was, we were printing lows on Market Cipher B on the 4-hour before we actually bottomed out. And we printed this big green dot here before we actually tested that trend line. So there's a lot of volatility that can happen on the way down. So perhaps, that's what we see happening now, right? We printed the blood diamond on the 4-hour, and we're still in that downtrend from the blood diamond, right? We're still in the downtrend from the blood diamond. So even if we get these massive bounces and stuff, I'm still kind of hoping that within a week, the end of the week or so, we could come down to test this level. Now, if we don't, and this really is the bounce, then I would be looking for a long position, right? I would be looking for another long position to enter more swing style, because I do believe, and this is just my sentiment, so this is not based on my analysis, but I believe this is going to be a very bullish month for cryptocurrency in general. And so if this is the actual bounce, then I would probably be looking for an entry somewhere up here. If we come up above this and we get a retest and then we come up and we're confirmed above the moving average, I would be looking for a long entry here, and I would place my long, right here, put my stop loss below that daily support, and then I would just set my take profit levels coming on the way up. That's what I would do, and I would set my target at the top of this channel, because this channel has been containing us since back in the day, back February, the month of February, the 21st of the month of February. So we shall see. But it would be just so nice, wouldn't it, if we got that perfect bounce off the trend line and then come up. So those are the two things I'm doing. I'm currently, guys, as you know, not everyone might know, but I'm short. So I shorted this I shorted this down from the daily level. I already hit 3 take profits. I hit 3 take profits, and right now, where I'm standing is, when I saw we were getting that bounce off that 55 level, I'm expecting us to either consolidate or come back up a little before we head back down. I'm going to stay in the position and let it ride. I already took profits, so it's a winning trade, hoping to continue downward and add to my position. If we reject off of one of these resistances and get Market Cipher confirmations. So that is that. Let me come into the chat real quick and see if we have any questions. I'm sorry, guys. I only have one monitor, so I can't look at the questions and do TA at the same time. So I am sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Piece of String Theory says, I had a great week using the 4-hour, 24-minute, and 3 to 6 minutes, swapping between hot and win and dent, amongst others, as they went green and red. Missed a few, but mostly good. That's great, Piece of String Theory. Yeah, that's one of the strategies that I go over in great detail in the trading course. But I also talk about it for free on my YouTube channel. Let's see here. So, on the daily, we failed to make an all-time high. Does that mean the end of the bull market? Any thoughts on the Pi top indicator? Yeah. Personally, I don't know much about the Pi top indicator, but I've heard people talking about it, so I cannot comment on that. But I will say that I don't think the failure to make a higher high on the daily time frame is necessarily the end of the bull market. I do not think that. Because if this was any other time frame, we would still consider us being in an uptrend, right? As long as this 21 moving average on the daily time frame is confirmed white, and this is, let me make sure this is the 21. Hang on. No, this is not the 21. This is the 21. As long as this 21 moving average is white, okay, we will be considered in an uptrend. And currently, right now, it's pretty nice. We're getting a bounce off of the daily 21 EMA. So I would not be concerned right now about the bull market being over. What I do think, and here's what I honestly think, guys. I really think that, well, this is obviously this is going to happen. I think we're either going to get a really nice dip down to one of these levels, even possibly down to the 48K level, and freak everybody out so that the whales, sorry, I get my animals confused, okay? I get my land and sea creatures confused. Come all the way down to these lower levels so that the whales can fill those huge buy orders, and then we will hit a new all-time high. I feel like this is going to shake out all the weak hands, the over-leveraged traders, all these people, and then hit a new all-time high. Or another scenario is we hit an all-time high in the month of April, and then we have a massive 40% correction that shakes everybody out, and then we continue up for the rest of the bull market. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but we are overdue for a massive correction in this bull market. I mean, look at what happened back in the month of January. We had a 32% correction there. A 32%. We have not had that since. And in previous bull markets, it's normal to have that. The second dump we had was only 25%. So, I'm expecting us to sooner or later have a really big correction, 35, 40%. And I'm expecting it to either happen, could happen now, right? And if we do get a dump down to 40%, that would put us very low. That would put us, at like a 40K Bitcoin at a 35% dump, which would totally shake out all the weak hands. But if we do hit a new all-time high first, like if we go to 75K, 80K this month, which is very possible, then the 40% correction would take us to 35. That would take us back down to like 50K at a 35% correction, or 48K at a 40% correction. So that would be, and we could do this and still be in the bull market. We could still be in a bull market because it only takes a very short period of time for Bitcoin to go up, 100%. That happened in a month, right? That literally happened in a month. We went up 100%. So these are just some things to keep in mind. And the way we survive this as traders is we mark our levels, and then we trade according to what Market Cipher says, and we have to be able to change in an instant, right? Things can be extremely bearish 1 second and then be bullish another second. Yesterday I was longing, today I'm shorting. It's just the way it has to be, and it depends on what kind of trader you are. Also, if you're like a swing trader or a scalper, there's so many different ways to do this. So as long as you have a system and a strategy in place that will keep you from getting sliced up, you're going to do very well regardless of what the Bitcoin price does. And if we do, eventually we are going to end up in a bear market where things are trading sideways, and then we're going to have to switch up our strategy again. So let's take a look at some other coins here. Let's take a look at ETH or Ethereum, okay? Now look at this. Ethereum is getting a nice bounce off of this daily support level. A very nice bounce off the daily support level. Didn't quite touch the 21 EMA. And let me pull up a different Ethereum chart. Actually, this is my Bitcoin chart that I primarily trade off of. That's why it's so sloppy. Let me pull up my ETH chart. What? Is this my ETH chart? What's going on here? No, this is not my ETH chart either. Here we go. What? This is not my ETH chart either? Wait a second, guys. Hang on. I'm flopping and groping. Over here. What is going on? What is going on? All right. Enough of this concupiscence and this lasciviousness. Oh, here we go. This is the ETH chart I was looking for. Okay, this is the ETH. Wait, is this the ETH chart? No, this isn't even Ethereum. Guys, hang on. I'm having a massive brain failure right now, okay? A massive brain failure. I can't find the ETH chart that I usually trade off of, okay? So I'm just going to have to go with the flow here. But even still, we are getting this nice bounce off of this daily level, right? And the reason I can have this at daily level is because this candle closed here, this candle opened here, this candle closed here, this candle opened here. Then we wick back up to these levels, we wick back up again, and now perfectly is being tested as support. So where are some other levels that we can look for? Well, I have one marked up here because this is actually the previous all-time high. I'll make that orange for us. And then if we go to the 4-hour time frame, it's very clear that we have a level right here as well. Yeah. And so really the way I was playing this was I was hoping that we would come back and retest the triangle. I don't know if that's going to happen now. It could. You know how things move so volatilely. But really what I was doing on these way down is I did add more to my position when we tested this level after the breakout. That was a perfect breakout retest, right? And so really I mean I'm super bullish on Ethereum. Super bullish, and I'm expecting us to recover. And I'm in a swing long on Ethereum right now. I'm down a little bit than I was yesterday because of this dump. I didn't take anything out. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've been taking. I did add to my position down here, but I have not been taking anything out. So I'm down now. I'm not in the red. I'm down from what I was yesterday. I think it was up like 87% yesterday, and now I don't know what it is, because I don't have my Bybit open. But yeah, I'm gonna ride this thing up to $2,500, and then I'm gonna get out. And if you are not in Ethereum now, this would be a good time to get in, like buying those dips. What I would like to see though, on some of these lower time frames, let me go to the 2-hour. I would like to see, because money flow is curving into the red right now, I would like to see us form some kind of a bottom. On the 1 hour, it's looking pretty nice, right? On the 1 hour, it's looking like we're forming an actual bottom. The RSI EMA crown indicator, which I use a lot to time bottoms of things, is also telling us, okay, the RSI is starting to point up toward that EMA, which means, we're starting to get that bounce. So look at when that happens. Just historically, you can see this is coming up. And if anybody is unfamiliar with this indicator, just go to indicators, type in KROWN, and it's right here, the crown trading RSI plus EMA plus control zones. That is that indicator. And yeah, so this might be a great time to maybe get into ETH if you're not in it and ride it up, and my first take profit level would be this resistance right here. Just ride the bounce up, and then the second take profit level would probably be this resistance right here at 21.2700. And then hopefully we break into a new all-time high. But this is nice because we're bouncing off a very clear support here. Very clear support. That was support from March 31st all the way to April 1st. So that's Ethereum. Guys, I'm going to have to cut the stream in like 10 minutes just because I have to get out of here at 10. Matthew Fitzgerald asks, does the CME gap need to be filled? No, it doesn't need to be, but it doesn't. It very well might. And that's another confluence that I'm looking for that 54K entry. Did I close my short? No, I'm still in my short, but I've already taken profit. And really what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to just ride this thing out, add to my position in the hopes that we'll get down to 54K. If things get too momentum-y, I will just I will probably close the position. But I'm already in profit, so I'm seeing if I can let this ride because of my sentiment to that lower level. Okay. What's going on, guys? Is everything cool with the stream here? Is everything cool with the stream? Let me see. Shout out to Jerry, who messaged me yesterday, but it appeared it wasn't me. I didn't give the Discord link that worked to create an account to sign in. Guys, there is a Discord link in the description of this video if you want to join the free Discord. Alexandria wants to know why we should use Bybit if the funding rates are much higher than competitors. I'm looking for a new exchange, to be honest with you. I'm looking for a new exchange. Amster Cam wants to know if you can follow my trades. You can if you become a level 2 VIP Patreon. However, keep in mind that my trades are not meant to be copied. They are not financial advice, and some of them are kind of risky, man. So, don't be looking to me to be like, giving you like these winning trade signals. Like, don't get me wrong, I've given some really good trade signals in the past few weeks for Litecoin, for Litecoin and a lot of different altcoins. Like a few of the altcoins I traded this week and posted in that Discord went up like 100%. Some of them came down. I think I had one Bitcoin trade that got stopped out. So don't just follow me blindly. Do your own analysis. Okay, well here let me post a new Discord link in here. Okay, let me post a new Discord link, and I'll just make it to never expire. And I'll put it in the description of the video and copy it there. And I'll also drop it in the chat. And guys, if for some reason you don't have Market Cipher and you want to get it, I do have a 5% discount. It's only 5%. It used to be 10%, but it's still better than nothing, right? And so not only do you get a discount, but yeah, Creepy Joe uses Bit7. Shout out to Creepy Joe, holding down the United States of America with his wrench. Shout out to Creepy Joe and his wrench. Yeah, Binance is not the best, but it's not like Bybit. It's not like the interface, but it's I use it to trade altcoins. I do use it to trade altcoins for sure. Paul Chapman wants to know if I can explain how I set my stop loss. Shout out to Bojan, holding it down with the wrench. I discussed that in other videos, man. You can check it out. I don't have time now because I have to cut this stream in 5 minutes. Yeah, if Market Cipher does print the red dot on the monthly, remember it won't confirm till the end of the month, Lars. But yeah, I mean, I am on Bitcoin. I am bearish. Like, I am looking for this to come down. I'm looking for it to come down. I'm looking for a nice long position from a very low low. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm sorry about the red and green, guys. I must be smoking that Ethereum or something. Do I suggest using Market Cipher for Forex? Asked Ty. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mark Tucker, a Bybit tutorial would be awesome. You know who has a great tutorial? The Moon. The Moon. Carl from the Moon has an amazing tutorial. I recommend his tutorial. Yep, Memory Man has a good piece of advice. Market Cipher is great. Never ever follow CryptoFace or me or anyone for that matter into a trade though, right? Guys, you need to get good at doing your own technical analysis and using Market Cipher yourself. If you're following me or you're following CryptoFace or you're following anybody, just remember that you're technically gambling because you don't know what you're doing if you're blindly following somebody into a trade. You know, I post my trades in the Discord. That doesn't mean they're going to be winning trades. Prime XBT, yes. I'm trying out Prime XBT. I'm trying out Femex right now. Juan Torres, I'm going to be on the BitBoy show next Wednesday. A live trading day would be awesome. Unfortunately, usually when I'm trading, trust me, I'm a homesteader, right? So I'm literally out there in my truck with a laptop on standby, with alerts set on my phone, digging in the dirt, planting beans and all this, and hauling compost everywhere, and taking care of animals. And all of a sudden, if I get an alert, I have to like open up my computer, look at the chart. I have to get my phone, go on to Bybit. I'm not sitting here on a desk all day with these monitors, right? I'm a very, even though I do my technical analysis in a chair at a desk for the day where I know where I'm looking to enter a trade, I do not actually enter a trade at a desk. So it would be very hard to do a live day of trading. Very difficult, especially now that it's the spring. It's go time. It's time to grow them beans and taters, right? Because I'm a southern boy. I love my beans. I love my taters. I love my collard greens too. Growing a lot of them. They survive over the winter. I've got collard greens growing that survived under 3 feet of snow. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, shout out to Bar None Off Grid, who's feeding baby goats right now. And yeah, everyone who watched my video yesterday, they heard the wind. Yeah, it was windy out. Shout out to Starcadian, who says I'm a bad ass. You know, my ass, I wouldn't call it bad. Oh, wow. Prime XBT. Okay, let's see. The 2x MA lines on my chart. Okay, yeah, so Amstercam, let me answer your question, and then I'm going to have to cut the stream. And I guess we can't do a giveaway because we don't have that many likes here. But one of these days, we'll do a giveaway. So if you go to indicators and you type in KROWN and turn on this indicator here, basically what this is the gray line is a moving average. And then this blue line is an RSI. And when the blue line crosses the RSI, that is bullish. When it crosses up, and when it crosses down, that is bearish. But also, this is great because it will show you the trend as well as the counter trends and the ups and downs in the trend. Because look, we can tell that we're in an uptrend because this gray line is constantly pointing up, right? We can tell that we're in a downtrend because this gray line is constantly pointing down. However, during these uptrends and downtrends, the RSI is going up and down above the gray line. So it will allow you to look at a swing trade and say, okay, I'm going to stay in my swing trade because the gray line is still pointed upward, but I might scalp against the trend because the RSI is crossing down below. And so right now, we're technically in this downtrend, right? And, we could still expect more momentum, but the RSI is coming up here. So we're going to get a little bit more upward movement before we potentially come down more. So that's how that works, man. I hope that explains the question. And it works in conjunction with Market Cipher, because Market Cipher will tell you the bottoms, it works in conjunction with Market Cipher. Like, this was not the bottom, even though Market Cipher told us this was a bottom. When we printed this bottom, this is where we actually start to see the RSI, and the white line kind of cross over each other and show us, yeah, okay, because when we printed this bottom, the RSI was still under the white line. But when we printed this bottom, the RSI comes over the white line. So it's just an added layer of confluence. That's all it is. But I like to use it as a secondary confirmation for entering trades because it gives me that added layer of confidence. All right. Shout out to David Chappelle, a very funny comedian. All right, guys. I'm going to have to head out. But shout out to everybody who did like the video, all 715 of you. And I pray that the Lord, Yeshua, Jesus, blesses you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may he cause his face to give light upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his face upon you and give you peace in the name of Jesus the Messiah. Amen. I do pray that for all of you. And I'll see y'all in the next video.